So we're live already?
Yeah. I just started it right off the bat. I don't know if anybody's picking it up yet.
Did you put it in your channel as well?
If you can, go ahead and do that.
I don't see. Wait, that's uploads. Let's go to live streams.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Hang on. Links. Let's see. Okay. YouTube page. Copy. Let me put that out there.
No. I mean, I don't see it on your channel that you have another live chat scheduled.
TR, put it right here. I'll put it in the other external chat.
It's up.
Oh, it's up. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, you put it in there already. Shit.
Yeah, that's what I hate about that damn big red button down there. I was like fishing around for the fucking mute button. I hit the fucking stop broadcast, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
No, you didn't do that. That was the government that shut you down.
Yeah, it probably was. It was the government that shut me down. Hey, we already got 25 viewers, so we're doing okay.
They'll find us.
Yeah, I told everybody right before we popped off that you were doing another one. So,
all right, here's the TR and me and the chat horn still screwing up.
So he's going to kind of shoot the shit a little bit and then get serious once we get some of the viewers back up.
Yeah.
I'm good at shooting the shit. Daniel doesn't have a link yet.
Before we get back into the child prostitution thing, let's just so we have no dead time while TR's feverishly working to get this thing set back up. I have a question for you there, Rick. We've got the flooding and everything else down in Texas because of Hurricane Harvey. I saw a clip last night. I got home from work at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I think, or wait, was it, or maybe it was today? No, today I turned it on, and there wasn't much. Great, maybe it was yesterday. But anyway, it was like right when the storm first hit. You had all the wind damage. The flooding really hadn't started yet because of the way the storm worked. It was kind of like the calm area, and the flooding hadn't started. There are firemen that are entering what looks to be, and this was on the news channel, apartment complexes and everything else that did not appear to be very badly damaged and or in a flood area at that time, kicking doors open and yelling, like first they'd pound, boom, 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 anybody in here, we're checking safety, we're checking this. And then they would kick the door open and go in and check the apartment and move out. And then just leave, and the door is now kicked open. Is that standard, like in a state of emergency where a mayor or somebody has said everybody evacuates, or is that kind of made for TV? Let's amp up the coverage.
You know what? I don't. Basically, we do things called primary searches and secondary searches, and I'll give you a good example. It might take a second to go through it all, but the like right now, I just sent one guy to Texas for our urban search and rescue team for the Swiftwater module. But it depends on who's running the incident and what they're trying to do. If we're trying to go through a community or an apartment complex, we are not really worried. It didn't sound like the way you had worded it that there was any really life-threatening, like things were going crazy right there. Now, if the building was on fire, like say in the apartment 12, and we're kicking 13 through 15 down and working on 12, we may just put a boot through the door and make sure no one's in there sleeping. But the way you kind of worded it, it sounded like the weather was really bad, farther down another county over, and there wasn't really flooding going on here. So I don't know. I mean, it's a natural disaster. I mean, people are going to do stupid shit, and it's going to depend on the agency that's doing it and how well they're trained and, how professional they want to be. A lot of it boils down to that.
It really started like the video because I mean, it had to have been whenever I woke up, because I was like, well, let's check on Texas to see how bad they're doing. And the video started with like the fire department, like the cameraman was outside, and how the cameraman made it in with the fire department is, I don't know, one thing that I wouldn't agree with. If you're that worried about human life, you're not going to invite a camera crew in with you, is my
it sounded like the guy was trying to
show off for the camera.
Show off for the camera. That would be my guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
I have been on fires though, like wildland fires, where the local news reporters, you know, the photographer ones, not video camera ones, they'll actually help pull the hoses and stuff. You know, you'll turn back around and all of a sudden you got more hose to go, keep going and stuff. And you're like, oh shit, thanks, man. But like, you know, you have a hose snag on a bush or something. But but yeah, that kind of sounds like what you said. The little showboating or over extreme, or maybe it was a guy that just, you know, makes everything a 10. I always rate everything on a 1 to a 10. Like, you know, there's some people, you know, will think of it as a 2, while a newer guy or will think of it as a 10 because he hasn't, you know, had the life experiences that the older seasoned veteran guys have. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Besides, I would say showboating or just being an idiot.
At least Scotty saw the video I was talking about, because I mean it was like outside the building. There's no flooding. There are structures in the area that had wind damage and everything else, but the building that they were kicking the doors down, it looked from what they showed to be sound, and it was like, what are these guys doing? I figured that'd be a good way to get shot. I mean,
yeah, especially if that's not, you know, and that's a big thing. Hey, you know, just like you guys do, police department, fire department, whatever, we do that so we don't get shot. But so I flew into Georgia yesterday to get on my main flight to go to San Diego, and the news was reporting the Texas, you know, flooding and stuff and the hurricane. And the guy was sitting there doing, you know, watching TV. So I go, hey, was there any fatalities? And the guy's all, I don't understand why there'd be any fatalities. And I didn't say one word. And then I'm thinking, okay, you have 130-mile-an-hour wind that's blowing fucking roofing and aluminum and siding and wood and all the other fucking crap that's flying in the air. How would you not think that there's going to be, you know, fatalities? And every time it floods, especially in California, because they don't ever see water come falling out of the sky normally in southern California, they all want to go play in the water, you know, in the rivers and shit. And then they're wondering why, you know, the kids drown or the parents drown, and or they try to cross roads. You know, it's just like people die for stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why we're in business, is because unfortunately somebody made a bad decision or whatever the case is, and that's why we're going there. So, but I was just like, why wouldn't he think that somebody could get pass away because of a storm that's blowing shit at 130 miles an hour or whatever it was? I'm like, use your brain.
All
Sorry,
right.
A little rant there.
We want to get back to where we were when Antifa took us off the air, talking about the child prostitution real quick, because I saw that in the chat room that we had a couple people that were very not against it, but saying that it was a BS story, that it wasn't true. And this is just off of a quick Google search, which anybody can do. But basically, the new law that was in California, it looks like it was passed in 2016. It doesn't legalize child prostitutes. However, it will not allow for any type of prosecution against the child. So basically, you know, I mean, it's like they're immune from any type of prosecution. So it does.
They should be. I think they should be.
A lot of people think about it as being conspiracy bullshit and want to write it off like, oh, that's just some right-wing conspiracy horse shit that went on. But Pizzagate, do you remember Pizzagate?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's some real shit.
Yeah.
That was pedophilia. That was fucking child pornography. And this was, and people from Congress, representatives, congressmen, senators and representatives go to that establishment. Hillary Clinton went to that establishment. Yeah, they tried to blow it off and they tried to make it, it didn't really happen. That was bullshit. It didn't happen. No, it did happen. And if you want to fucking blind your eyes and turn your head to what happened, yes, there's pedophilia that happens within our government. And Pizzagate was a big deal.
Well, I've
you can
heard
write it off and say, well, they looked at it and nothing happened. Well, of course it didn't. Nothing happened because there's fucking government officials there that made sure that nobody got prosecuted for it. And will turn your head away.
I have heard with
is a big deal in America.
With the 95 down to the 26 is a good corridor for drugs and for basically stolen children down into Cuba. That's one of the basically routes, I guess, that they utilize, which is pretty unfortunate because that runs through the town I live in. Yeah, to Canada, they allow animals.
And we're hitting on some serious subjects here, and we hadn't done that in a long time on my chats, but I don't mind it. And, I'm all for it because I think it is a serious subject and we should talk about it. I'm not fucking immune or, turning a blind eye to it. I know it's there. I'm angry about it. I know I don't really portray it in my videos and my chats and stuff like that, but I'm aware of this stuff. Mm-hmm. This shit goes on. There is pedophilia happening throughout America. There is a sex slave operation happening in America. And these fucking piss ants want to fucking bitch about some monument that's 200 fucking years old or 150 years old. It's like you don't even fucking get what's really happening in America. You're pissed off about some fucking old flag when your 8-year-old fucking child is being raped on a fucking daily basis, and you don't give a shit about that, but you give a shit about some fucking 120-year-old fucking statue. Okay.
No, that's it's all right to be pissed, and I think that if more people would get pissed over a great cause. I mean, there's an actor, and I mean he's not a great actor.
Matt Damon.
Is it Matt
Damon?
No,
Ashton.
Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher. Whatever the hell.
Huge into the, I mean, he's gone before Congress. He's gone before everybody you can to try to get funding to help combat this. And I'm sure he's getting some help. But look how many millions upon millions upon millions of dollars these assholes, whenever I say these assholes, I'm talking Antifa, I'm talking all these assholes that want to go against a flag or a monument, are taken away from an actual project that could better the way of life in the United States for thousands of kids. It's the real issue versus a made up issue because I need to bitch about something. Or maybe that's what I don't know. Am I wrong? Is that what I'm doing? I'm bitching about an issue that should not be talked about and should be tucked away in a closet.
That's exactly why they don't want us talking about it, because they're part of it. I mean, just call a spade a spade. These people are part of the problem. There is a issue with child rape, pedophilia, whatever the hell you want to call it. That is an issue that's going on now. And these assholes want to point, oh, look, there's a statue of General Robert E. Lee. It's like, who fucking gives a shit? What about that fucking 10-year-old that's being raped on a daily basis? And they want to shut us up because they want everybody pointing at a fucking flag. And that's the problem. Oh, look, racism, racism, racism. No, that's not a problem. Whites and blacks get along. That's not a fucking problem. Let's talk about these fucking children just being raped on a daily basis. Let's talk about that. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to be, because they're part of it.
Yeah. And it's a real issue.
Well, would you consider North Korea to be basically slaves as well? Because we basically started this conversation with slaves. And for the fact that you have to pretend that you love this, made up God, right? And work and do all this shit for basically pennies on the dollar, if not worse. That's the same shit. Why aren't they worrying about that?
Yeah. That leader there, he had his uncle murdered. And the people there are controlled by the food. If you don't show up for the parade to worship this guy, you don't get food. Hundreds of thousands of people have starved to death in North Korea. And they are a slave.
Yeah, to the system.
That's where we're headed.
That's what they want. How can they not see it in all these other countries that it's not going to work? And why should somebody have to work twice as hard while one jackass sits on the couch?
TR, can I borrow your tinfoil hat? We actually need to put this up where like you hand it to and I look like I grab it and put it on my head. But seriously, let's talk about, not if this happens, I'm just going to give up on the human population in this country. But let's just say these assholes get their way. They start a civil disobedience in large cities along the coastlines and everything else. When is the best time for a foreign country to attack us? Whether it be North Korea, whether it be Russia, whether it be whatever. Attack when the masses of that own country can't even agree on patriotism. It's just, I don't want to see it happen, but these people are going to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. They want to deem us, these white nationalists, which I'm not saying there's not white nationalists that are actually KKK or white supremacists or whatever, but just the fact that I am somewhat white, I'm actually more Indian than I am white, but I'm somewhat white and I'm proud of my country. I'm proud of my heritage. Just because of that doesn't mean I'm a fucking racist, And if somebody attacks this country, I'll be the first one to pick up a fucking gun and defend my land, our land. I'll be one of the first ones. Does that make me a racist that I want to protect this fucking nation from enemies, foreign and domestic? No. That's laid out in the fucking Declaration of Independence.
Well, see, and that's the perfect storm. That's what the point of the whole thing is in my mind. It's you start with civil unrest, you get to martial law, and then you basically, because everybody asks, when is the time to grab your weapons? And I think Pop's Quest said it the best. It's like if you run outside and look at your neighbor and he's not carrying his rifle, it probably isn't the time. But you're going to see baby steps. Everything is designed in baby steps. If you think of California and the gun laws, it's baby steps. You throw 30 shitty ideas out and 2 of them stick. Well, every year for the next 30 years, you'll end up with 60 fucking retarded laws that the gun owners of California have to deal with. Well, now it's a bigger scale. You get all these little tiny bullshit fucking retarded Black Lives Matter, so on and so forth. And you get civil unrest, which gets you to martial law, which gets you to people basically breaking into, give me your guns or whatever the case is. And then this is when we all go, you know what, fuck this. It's not happening. No way, no how. You'll get the bullets before you get the gun. That's it. Baby steps.
Yeah. I do think they want civil unrest. I think that's why the media is stirring the fucking pot. I think that's why the government is stirring the pot, and I think that's why they're against Trump so much. I mean, they're trying to stir the pot. And here's my tinfoil hat opinion: they want a civil unrest so they can pass more laws to have control of us. It's all about power. They want power over us.
Exactly. Somebody had put in there that they are doing, basically, they're doing that right now in Texas. They're rioting, and because they're not getting food or whatever. I wish I could go back to whoever put that in there. Maybe you guys can put it in again, whoever did it. And that's how it starts. Think of Katrina. Katrina, the people that did all that bullshit during Katrina actually ended up hurting more people because all the rescuers had to basically back out. All the helicopters that were trying to pick up people on rooftops because of the flooding. I don't know who it was, some jackass started shooting at the freaking rescue helicopters. Well, guess what? One freaking thing on the radio, everybody backs up. And then now you get a bunch of people that have the possibility of drowning and all that stuff because some dumbass decided he wanted to shoot at a freaking rescue helicopter. Any helicopter, I mean, for that matter. What's the difference? But it's that kind of crap that screws everything up. But it's also bad plans in place because they had sent all these people to the stadium and people were getting raped, and when you have so many people like that and everybody thinks that they deserve whatever they want and they don't have to worry about being prosecuted because they're in world chaos now or whatever in their mind, they think they can get away with whatever they're going to get away with, then people do stupid shit. But that's the reason why prepared people or people with plans, aren't worried about as much. Don't need to be all, what am I going to do? And just kind of rape and pillage because they don't need to. They have a plan. And that's the problem is nobody has a plan. And everybody wants everything for free and for the government to save them.
This stuff that's going on now, back up 8 years, what was going on then? You had Occupy. That was a dress rehearsal for this time right now.
Yeah, that's what they've been practicing. If we're on the same page, that's basically the government teaching the military how to occupy our own land, right?
No.
How to take over. Is that something different?
No, I'm talking, you heard of Occupy Wall Street?
Mm-hmm.
And they had the rape tents and everything. And they left the big pile of garbage. It cost millions to clean up when they finally left.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Has it been that long ago?
Yes. And what did the president say? Just let them get there. It'll run its course. Leave them alone. And didn't let the police do their job then. That's a precedent.
Another thing we got to hit tonight is on. Blue would know it's a cop thing. Basically, it was a Milwaukee police chief told him to take down the blue line, thin blue line flag.
Because now that is a terror.
That's a terror.
It's trademark.
What a bunch of fucking bullshit. God.
We are being surrounded by pussies. I'll say it. Y'all don't have to say it. I'll say it because I don't give a shit. We are being raised and surrounded by pussies, and these people think that they have control of this country. Guess what? Us hard-ass motherfuckers that have been here, we're still in fucking control, okay? There will come a day that you pussies will eventually be in control. But for right now, us hard ass fucking men, and we're trying our fucking damnedest to create a generation to follow us that will do service to our country. That will. I know Blue and Rick, Daniel. I'm not sure about your children's situation, but I know Rick and Blue have kids, and I know good and well they're trying their damnedest to raise the best fucking kids they can. I don't think for a minute they're raising these little pussies that we're seeing on the news, that we're seeing cause a ruckus. And my hope, I don't have any kids. I have no kids. But my hope is people like Blue and Rick are raising really good children to be the next generation. Because these little fucking pussies that's out there now fucking causing a disturbance. I don't have any respect for them.
Yeah, but a lot of that could be blamed on us too. And the reason why I say that is, you know, my kids are 13 and 15, right? So if I was a little older or had kids a little sooner, those would be our kids. And a lot of these guys out in the chat, you know, they're not young whippersnappers like the rest of us. You know, we're a little bit older, and those could be our kids, not meaning our kids, but and we as parents need to go beat the fuck out of our own kids and say that what you're doing is wrong. Educate them, or say, you know what, you have a voice, use it. Don't go breaking people's storefronts and burning shit down. And you can be stupid,
Mm-hmm.
but do it in a smart manner. You know what I mean? You don't have to know everything. As we get older, we get wiser, hopefully. But it's like a lot of us, those could be our kids. So go grab your kid by the shoulder, maybe smack him around a little bit, and tell him this isn't how you get things accomplished. This isn't what you're thinking you're doing. Isn't doing what you're thinking. You know, it's like.
Yeah. I mean, teach them to be the grown-up men, grown-up women. I don't know how to express it. The video I put out today, for those that seen it, you know, there was a lot of what my dad instilled in me in that video. My dad passed away like fucking 17 years ago. But he beat my ass, but he fucking loved me at the same time. And he taught me to be a man. And I know it didn't come across, but actually I shared it with my sister because that video was actually a reverence to my father. He taught me to be a fucking man. He taught me to, you know, when you're right, you fucking stand your ground. When you're wrong, you fucking admit you're wrong. If somebody punches you, you fucking take it and you fucking punch back. My dad was a hard fucking father to grow up with. But at the same time, he taught me to be a man. And I know it didn't come across probably, but the whole time I was doing that video, that's what I was thinking of. My father, how he raised me. He raised me to be a fucking man.
Well, and that's a great point. And I thought I understood that watching your video, TR. I knew what you were saying. But I think a lot of the problem is parents want to be friends with their kids. And there's a difference between being a parent and being a friend. You have to definitely be a parent first, smack them around when they need it. And I'm not saying you're saying abuse, but get them to understand strongly what the hell you're trying to prove a point about. And you can be their friend, but don't be their best friend. Don't try to be their, you know what I mean? Your job is to be a parent first. And they're not doing that. in my opinion.
Okay. Story. I got 2 kids, a son and a daughter. When my son went off to school, I told him it's like, you know, he had a full ride scholarship, academic. And he had an English teacher. They were teaching the, or was it social something? And they were teaching the 5 Muslim pillars. And my son used the Quran to answer their questions. And he didn't give them the answers that they wanted. That teacher lost over half of his assignments and didn't enter it. He failed out. He told me about it, and I said, don't come crying to me. You got 2 choices. One is you get a lawyer and fight it, which is going to take years, or you continue working, get a job, and pay your own way through school. Well, he's in his 3rd year of criminal forensics and investigation at a local college now, instead of at the state college where they were teaching religion that our taxpayers are paying for. But he had to get up himself. My daughter, when she was 12, the girls in her school thought, because the subject of guns came up and how their parents lock them up and all this. And my daughter took it. It's like, I got my guns under my bed. And those girls were completely aghast to that. She came home that night and it's like, Dad, do I got to put these in the safe or should I put the ammo down here? I said, you've had this gun safety course, right? She goes, yes. Hunter safety course, right? Yes. Well, if you put the bullets down here and the gun down in the safe, that's not going to do you any good when someone breaks into the house. Now she's got 5 guns in her room.
Good. But that's what they push.
Yeah.
I know they push it. I mean, it's hard to bite your tongue as a very pro Second Amendment kind of person when you're dealing with, especially when my kids were going to Asheville. I'm like, fuck. It was horrible. You know, you could tell who was okay with it and you could tell who wasn't, man. And it was like, I wouldn't even talk to 90% of those people at all.
Yeah, chapter 2 on my son at the college that he's at now. This was the English teacher, and she lost his, and she was a liberal, and my son is very vocal on his views. He's just like one day, and it's like he's got this incomplete and an F. He went to the teacher, and this time he listened to me. He saved every single assignment and homework, graded and signed by the teacher, and laid it right there on the desk in front of her. It's like, are we going to go to the dean or are we going to go straight to my lawyer's office? He got an A instead of, right there on the spot. Because, he laid it down. And if your kids are in school right now, they need to be saving all their assignments. This is a common practice.
Wow. I've never heard of that with kids coming up into, even the high school level. That's scary that a teacher that doesn't believe in whatever the kid has to write, if they just don't believe in it, they quote unquote lose it and give them an incomplete. That's.
My son is not the only one this has happened to. I've seen it happen to other people's kids too. And now when we're sending, I help in a youth group, and when they're going off to college, we brief them about saving all your homework. And when you're going out there, you're going to run into the liberal teachers, and you're either going to keep your mouth shut and play the game or stand up. If you stand up, be ready. They're going to come after you from multiple angles.
Now, is your daughter still in high school or middle school or something like that?
She's a junior right now, taking college engineering.
Now, does your local schools, and Rick, you also, do they issue the kids tablets or little notebooks to do their assignments on?
The school that we used to go to, we were required to purchase a computer, an Apple computer, basically a Mac, because that's what their system ran on. That's, you know what I mean? So everything worked correctly. They've never been issued anything, and they start tomorrow. So I don't know. We just are now going to a public school. So I don't know exactly how that will work. I'll know more later.
And Blue, I think I know where you're going on this. So all I'm going to say is, yes, my daughter has a school issued computer. Well, in her freshman and sophomore year, she had one, and something happened down at that school. So I'll let you continue now.
Okay, no, that was where I was going to lead at, because if the schools and or the teacher, the homeroom teacher, or however it works, has control over that computer, God, that's scary that you even have to think about doing that. But you'd almost have to back up all of your work before you even went to school the next day, because what's not to say, oops, I accidentally hit the delete button, just like somebody accidentally hit the cut live chat button, and it all goes.
Oh, okay. Take it up one notch now. We have a teacher down that used to be at my daughter's school that is now in jail because they also can activate the camera. And when these kids take the computers home, where are the computers at? They're in their bedrooms.
Yep.
So they caught this guy activating the cameras.
I was just about to say, if you have a computer that is connected some way with a school, even my laptop, I have a piece of masking tape over the fucking camera. And if I had a 16-year-old daughter, there's no way in hell I wouldn't have a piece of black tape, masking tape, something over that camera. Because if they're online, somebody can hack it.
Oh, yeah.
And if it's a school computer, guess what? The school can fucking hack it, and they can watch your daughter fucking undress and whatever the hell she's doing. And I know it sounds like I'm conspiracy theorist, but facts are facts. Look it up.
It's not a conspiracy theory whenever there's an individual, what is it, Edward Snowden, who's in a different country right now for blowing the whistle that but the United States government was, just because let's say TR is in fact a communist, and just because I'm on this chat with him, that gives them the right to turn on my camera, turn on my microphone, on my phone, on anything else. I mean, that's yeah, that's not a theory at all. That is fact, that they can do that at any point in time. And I'm sure that whenever our schools send the little paper home that we're responsible for this computer, we have the right to do this, and this. I'm sure if you read in there somewhere, it says we have the right to turn on the computer if for whatever reason we feel that it's being damaged or inappropriately used, to view what's happening with this computer, which probably, just like the apps that we download onto our smartphone, you know, if you're freaking watching a porn on your smartphone and getting happy with yourself, I'm pretty sure somebody's probably recording that off of an app that you have downloaded. And we're just taking
Think of the subs, though. Think of the subs and the views you get.
little Winky Wonka's Chocolate Factory is what they call my channel.
The Angry Inch.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's a fact. I mean, when you, I don't, at work, you know, I could set myself up to be on where I can get my emails from work on my personal cell phone. I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, because in order, just my company I work for, I had to give them access to every email, every fucking phone call, every fucking picture, all that. No, yep. I'm not giving you access to that, because there might be some girl that sends me a Gucci shot, and that's not yours to see. That's mine. Mine only. She sent it to me. She didn't send it to you. You don't get to look at her coochie.
And for the record, TR just sends those to me every now and again, so you can still send them to him. I see them every now and again.
There went his pictures he was going to get.
But it's true. I mean, if you give somebody access to your phone, they get full fucking access to your phone.
If you have an Android phone, if you have an Android phone or an Apple phone, you either give Google or Apple complete access to your personal life. If you think that those pictures that you put on there are safe, not at all. Read your disclaimers. And if you even, what the hell was the worst app? It was a flashlight app that you could put on your phone. That gave them the right to listen to your phone calls, listen to your emails, anything that came through that phone. Whenever you clicked accept, just for that little flashlight app, boom, you just gave up all rights to privacy.
Yeah, any of those things, you're basically screwing yourself. And you know what's funny? You know, we're here to communicate and make friendships and you know, to educate and to do all that stuff, right? On our YouTube channels. Hopefully we're trying to give somebody some knowledge of something. But it's you know, the worst thing you could do as a prepper is sit there and say, okay, here's how I do beans, here's how I do rice. You know, it's giving more knowledge on here's the guns I have. You know, so it's a fine line between trying to help people out and trying to hide your shit as well, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But us all being in the freaking YouTube land for a while, it's like if we're on a list, we're on a list. We've been on the list, and whatever. If they're coming after me, that means they already got the big dog, so I'm good with it.
You know, the one thing about, I guess, social media that really pisses me off, and it's not even just social media. I guess it's just the general public, and I don't even want to say all general public, but most of the general public. Let's say let's flip screens here. Let's say that TR was the ghostly white head that's floating around here, and I was in TR screen with that rebel flag behind him, the Confederate flag, whatever you want to call it. I could be suspended. I could be fired. I could be whatever, just because somebody that knows that I'm a police officer has that flag that automatically marks me. And it's been happening across the country that officers are being suspended, fired, just for having the flag up. And I'm waiting for the day that they say, oh, the thin blue line flag, all that stuff. I don't mark my vehicle with any of that stuff. I don't put FOP, anything on my car. I figure if I get pulled over and the cop's going to give me professional courtesy, it's going to happen at the window whenever I pull out my ID and he sees the badge. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. It's not going to be whenever I'm going down the road at 70 miles an hour and I got a little tiny sticker on my plate. That little tiny sticker on my plate is going to identify me to the people that want to demolish my car just because of that little tiny sticker. But in front of my house, I've got that flag flying proudly. Every time a cop dies, every time, I fly it until he's buried. And unfortunately, that flag has been flying for days on end.
See, that's another concern you should think of too. I mean, I understand, especially, you know, the 343, the firemen in New York City when the towers fell and all that. But like, it's a very important thing to us, you know, whether it's police or fire or whatever. But on your aspect, you know, they just had, I don't remember where it was. I just saw a blip of it on the news. People were protesting at a police officer's house.
Philadelphia.
And see, and that's where giving those signs of, hey, I'm a police officer, there's a huge wanting to represent your fellow brothers and sisters that have laid down the, you know, and have lost the battle, unfortunately. But on the other end, it's like you got to think too about your family. So it's very hard to, I don't know. Yeah. Like I was all big into the fire stuff. You know, I've been in the fire service 30 years now. I could give a rat's fuck about putting a bunch of crazy fire stickers and all that kind of shit on my car. I don't even care anymore.
And that's, I mean, I'm with you on that part. It's just that I've been doing it for years now, and I'm sure I'm going to get to that point where I do finally just take that flag down, not out of disrespect, but out of, hey, I'm working night shift. Hey, I'm not always home. Hey, this.
Yeah.
But that goes for any, and you hate to even say that, any veteran, anything like that, because I love seeing cars going down the road that have, you know, Semper Fi, or my son's an American soldier, my son's this, my daughter's this, you know, and you hate saying it. At least in my small town, that is not an issue. But you have to think, you go to a larger city and you drive through that larger city where one of these protests is going on. They don't give two shits about what that means to you. They just automatically see, oh, look, there's a blue line. That's a cop. I mean, it might not even be a cop. It might be a mother,
a supporter,
a supporter, a brother, a sister. I mean, I don't put on my car for a reason. And I think, and I know veterans and police alike, and even firefighters, well, us like-minded people, if I'm in my car and I was by myself and somebody wanted to start something because of a sticker I have, that's one thing. But let's face facts. How many times is it just you and your car? You know, you got your family to think about. You got all that other shit, and you gotta set pride off to the side and think about the bigger picture, which sucks. I mean, it sucks that we have to sit here as being us worried about what these protesters are going to do. But
I say fuck them. I say fuck them, run them down, blow their fucking brains out. If they attack you, fuck them. They attacked you. You've acted in self-defense. Fuck them all.
This
and
video
when
may
that
haunt you
starts
someday.
happening, when that starts happening, these motherfuckers will start to back off. They'll back up. They're like, oh, wait a minute. These guys they're serious. You know, I tried to beat this guy's head in with a baseball bat, and he fucking blew my brains out. And when people start seeing that
guy's not going to think.
They're like, oh, wait a minute, we shouldn't maybe we shouldn't go to this rally because these motherfuckers ain't fucking playing around.
Well, they're pretty.
That's what I'm thinking. Eventually, we'll get to that point. We're not there yet, but when it happens, it will happen. Like I said, I didn't go to the rally that happened in South Carolina today in my hometown because I carry a fucking gun. And if those motherfuckers would have come at me, I would have fucking shot them dead in their ass. That's why I didn't go. That's why I didn't show up, because I was like, I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to cause a problem. I don't want to go to a fight.
No, when you already know the end of the story, sometimes it's better not to read the book.
TR, that's bullshit. You're just worried because of all the stories I've told that even though you're 100% right and justifying yourself, you didn't want to lose your CZ while they were doing the investigation.
No, he would have shot him with the Glock.
Well, eventually, right now we're being very patient. It's close to something else that I've done videos on that I was saying that we're being very, very patient. And right now, with all these protests, we're being very, very patient. But eventually, you're gonna, and not you guys, but they are going to fucking cross the line, and we will fucking come to the line and say, nope, we're done.
Game over.
Game over. And there will be bloodshed that you will not understand. Oh my God. I don't want it to fucking happen. I don't want it to happen. That's why I try to educate. That's why I try to do videos and I share videos and stuff like that. It's like, look, this is what's going on. You know, open your eyes. This is what's going on. But if you don't, eventually there will be a reaction. And the reaction is there's going to be a lot of fucking bloodshed. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. All right. I know I shocked everybody with that, but
Daniel has something to say about that.
Oh, I mean, the only way to counter it is for us to en masse go to City Hall wherever we live and demand that our politicians take the cuffs off the police, let them do their job, and we're not going to put up with it. But the whole thing is, TR, it's going to come to a head. Like, I mean, just in a scenario, just like you're saying, where people are just going to get fed up. And the sad part is, the other side, they want that to happen. That's what they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's the plan. I don't know. I've been saying it for couple months now.
If I really think in our current times, I mean, this is like right now happening. This march from Charlottesville to Washington, it's going to take 10 days. I think that if it goes and they actually march the whole way, and if they do this bullshit destruction, rioting the whole way, I think somewhere along the path, that line very well could be drawn. Not by law enforcement. I think it's going to be drawn by the citizens of a town that they're going through. It's going to be. I really think. I mean, because I mean, we live in let's just say Sleepyville, Virginia, which is on almost to DC. So we're in Sleepyville, and we've seen the last 5 days these protesters that are coming through. In every city they hit, there is assaults, there are arsons, there's murders, there's this, there's that. If it gets to that, I really think somewhere along that line that there's going to be enough people in Sleepyville to stand there and say, you guys aren't coming here. You either go around or go through, one of the two. And I think that might be the line. I mean, how could anybody, I mean, even me in my small town, if you see it coming 5 days in advance, would you sit there and let your house, your home, your schools, your libraries, your businesses, would you let them be burnt because every other town down the road didn't do shit? Or are you going to finally stand up?
Yeah, that's my fear. I fear that because it's going to eventually happen. Already has a plan and action to react to it. Oh, here's this gun law, or here's this whatever law it is, and they're going to pass it. They already got it. It's sitting in the books, and they're just waiting for it to happen. That's why they're pushing for this, civil unrest between us.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you. I mean, if they came to my town and they were like, we're going to burn this sumbitch down, I'm like, no, the fuck you are not.
Mm-hmm.
I will fucking shoot you dead between your fucking eyes. And it's fucking going to happen.
Would that be in the face, TR? Like shoot
them in the fucking face. It's going to fucking happen.
Can I get a hell yeah?
Look, I don't want it to happen. I really hope that if this march, I really hope that but it's up to the local police. It's up to the local jurisdictions. If that shit starts happening, I know you're laughing, and I'm laughing too.
No, yeah. I'm laughing at TR.
But it's up to them to get it stopped, because if they're not getting it stopped, what are the citizens going to see?
Yeah.
Well, shit, they tried, they failed. They tried, they failed. They tried, they failed. In 2 days, they're going to be here. We are not going to let them torch our town.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with you, Blue, because if the police doesn't get involved and fucking stop it before it happens, the unrest will happen. And
yeah, but the freaking mayors are telling the police chiefs to let them do that shit.
I know. I get it. I understand. And that was a problem with Charlottesville. The police were told to fucking stand down and not react. Until people started getting killed, they didn't fucking react. And you're absolutely right. It was all the fucking local government's fault.
Yep. Let us go in, kick ass, and get sued later.
How do all fires start?
A spark.
A small, yeah. Right, Blue. Great answer. You gotta fucking crush it while it's small and be done with it.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. I really think that this next 10 days, if this march actually happens.
Tell us more about this, because there's even people outside going, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Blue. I've never heard of it yet.
Let me pull it back up.
Yeah, roll us some information.
All right,
Live.
You guys talk
from
about pull it up.
TR, did you see my live at the airport with Rich? Those guys have me doing all sorts of fun stuff.
I was very disappointed, Rich.
Rick.
I mean,
Rick.
Okay,
tell me more. Tell me more, Fred.
Well, Ricky.
Don't do that. You're gonna see a CZ come out of nowhere.
I mean, you couldn't find one green, purple-haired girl in that whole crowd.
No. I couldn't. I saw one at a football game. No, it wasn't at a football game. It was by a hair salon. In North Carolina, I saw a blue-haired girl.
All right, I got it.
All right, good.
All right, it's a 110-mile march is how the distance is, and this is what the news article says. Protesters are planning a march starting from Charlottesville, Virginia to Washington, D.C. to fight white supremacy and demand that President Trump be removed from office. The March to Confront White Supremacy, and that's what it's called, it's in quotation, the March to Confront White Supremacy will spend 10 days starting on Monday, August 28th, so that's starting tomorrow, traveling to the nation's capital and then occupy it with nonviolent demonstrations. For years, white supremacist violence, rhetoric, and policies have escalated and intensified, exploding during Donald Trump's run for president and reached a boiling point in Charlottesville. The white nationalist rallies in Charlottesville, Virginia turned violent earlier this month, leaving one of the counter-protests dead. President Trump was heavily criticized for his response, which many viewed as not going far enough against white supremacists. So that is what the march is based on, and that's off of their website. So yeah, it's going to be 100. I think it's 110 miles, 10 days from Charlottesville to D.C. And what I'm looking at, it looks like they're going to occupy D.C. until Trump is removed. So if you guys think that that's not going to start something or have a very high probability.
Well, Charlottesville?
Charlottesville,
Virginia.
Yep, Virginia.
Virginia, okay.
I've been there. And for those that don't know, there's like 6,000 registered KKK in America. Out of 350 fucking million people, there's 6,000 KKK. KKK exists? Yeah, they do. What is that percentage? You go do the fucking math. 350 million people, and there's 6,000 KKK. All right? I'm not making this shit up. This is real fucking numbers. Go do your fucking math. These little fucking crybabies that are marching against Trump, they didn't march against Obama when he promoted black supremacists, the BLM, but all of a sudden, Trump's a fucking problem.
They're just sorry that Hillary didn't get in.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. That's all. They're sore fucking little pansy losers.
And who was Hillary's mentor? Anybody got it? I'll give you 5 seconds. I'll give you 5 seconds. Bill. Who was Hillary's mentor?
The person who dedicated their book to Satan.
Richard Byrd. KKK fucking a KKK fucking leader. Her mentor was Richard Byrd, a Democrat fucking senator that she literally fucking kissed on camera a KKK member. Even fucking Bill Clinton, he was like, well, he was just trying to get votes. That's why he done it. Blah, 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 bullshit. All right. Trump never supported anybody that was in the KKK. But Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton fucking supported Richard Byrd, who was a KKK leader. All right. Let's get your fucking facts straight here. You know, come on. Give it to me. And I'm saying that for the ones later on. Because Trump never supported a KKK leader, but Hillary Clinton did. Bill Clinton did. Trump didn't. But yet he's a racist. Explain that shit to me. Somebody work out that math for me, if you would.
See that?
Because I can't figure it out.
I painted that because I was bored one day.
Why would you want Jay Leno?
Come on. I know I'm not that good of an artist, but come on, look at the hair. It's not gray, or it's not black with a skunk stripe.
It's a chin. That's what gives it away.
Yeah. I did make the chin a little too big.
Oh. At first, yeah. I was trying. No. Go ahead.
I'm going to give everybody a chance to do an outro because I got to go to work tomorrow. So even though I had to restart this, I still got to go to work tomorrow. So anyway, I'm going to let Blue, would you like to do an outro? And you can talk about anything you want. The floor is yours.
No, I'm glad that you restarted the chat. I mean, we really, it's been a long time since we've had a serious, like, talking about issues, and a lot of time we're just kind of BSing around and having a good time. I still think this was a good time. There was a lot of good information put out. I really hope that people, you know, if this protest march thing happens, watch the next 10 days. I'm not saying go out and prepare, but make sure, I think all of us are already prepared for at least the long haul, but just get ready. I really think if anything's going to spark it, I really think this could be, my opinion, this could be the one that really, really sparked the ember that's going to get bad things happening, or good things, whichever way you want to look at it. But thanks for restarting it. I'm glad we didn't stop it because that we were on a roll. So I actually kind of like this format a little better. I mean, the bullshit sessions are great. I love it, but this was good to actually vent and get our opinions out, and hopefully, I don't want to say educate, but get people thinking a little bit. So thanks for that. And it was good meeting Daniel and you guys out in the external chat, rocking on as usual.
Yeah, I agree. I think we have to, as much as I like having the bullshit sessions, I think most of us have a serious opinion about things. And I know in the past I was very serious, and I kind of got away from that. But at the same time, us have a lot of heartfelt feelings about things, and this is a platform for us to do it. This is a platform for us to get our feelings out. And Daniel 6, Blue, trust me, I appreciate your opinion and what you have to say. And with that, I'm going to let Daniel do an outro, and you go ahead, brother.
That's all I got to say about that. I got you. Yeah. I think I got Rick with that. This Daniel, God is my judge. I'm not burn up, ate up, and everything. I'm just a guy, just like you guys. And I started my channel because I don't type very well. And when I give my opinion on somebody's thing, it turns into a novel. And I already learned a long time ago, I don't like reading novels. But thank you, everybody. TR, thanks.
No, it's great having you on, man. I mean, you've been commenting on my videos for a while now, and I had a feeling that you'd be a good guy to have on a panel. That's why I invited you, because I respect your opinion, and I appreciate your 2 cents.
Mm-hmm. And isn't it funny how he kind of brings a calming effect? I mean, even though we're serious and we want to like just blast out, it's kind of like having that, I don't want to say the calming voice or the voice of reason, but just a calmer person. It kind of makes you take a breath before you say things and kind of get out of control. So that was cool. I'm glad to see you on the panel and hope to see you back.
Oh, when my wife and kids see me get mad, they jump in the fastest car and they go. They're gone because I don't lose it anymore too often. But yeah, thanks, Will. I'm gonna shut up now.
You're a cool dude, man, and I appreciate you being on the panel. I really do. And Rick, he showed up. He got through pissing or whatever he was doing.
Well, great. I'd like to say, go subscribe to Daniel and Blue and TR. If you're not subscribed to them, you're missing out, my friends. Other than that, appreciate you guys showing up and always being there for us, and TR especially. You guys are awesome. Thanks again. Have a good night. The end.
All right. With that, I'm going to end this. And sorry for the little blip halfway through the chat, because that was my mistake. Believe it or not, if you ever do one of these chats, there's a big red button at the bottom of the screen. If you hit it, you'll end the chat. And I accidentally hit the stop broadcast button. Can for that. But
can you name the chat 2 bald guys, 1 mohawk, and a full head of hair?
I can.
Walk into a bar. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I screwed up and I hit the wrong damn button. I was trying to scroll my mouse around. I was looking for the mute button, and my mouse was down here, and I hit stop. And I was like, son of a bitch. Damn it. Anyway, sorry about that, but thanks for everybody for coming back. And I do appreciate y'all following us over here to this chat. We had a pretty good audience, even though I cut it short and started another one. So anyway, we're done. Later, everybody.